inherently makes sense. With stuff like Go Big, we know that every entrepreneur that's out there looking to start a business is going to look for some sort of capital at some point. We don't have to spend a lot of time explaining to people that if we have investors and we have capital on our site, Go Big inherently makes sense. So the first thing I just want to impress upon everybody is, as you're kind of thinking through your businesses, forget about the solution. Forget about the product itself of what you're building. Focus exclusively on the problem. If the problem is acute, if the problem is real, and the problem is severe, the solution will present itself. The solution will inherently make sense. When PayPal came out, as you guys know the story, they went through a whole bunch of business model changes along the way in order to get to the idea of person-to-person payments off the web, particularly off eBay. But once they did it, once they figured out where that product fit and what the problem was that they were solving, everyone got it. Everyone who had ever done a transaction on eBay knew that if I want to send cash to you, that you don't have a way to process my credit card. So this is a good way to process my bank account. This is a good way for us to talk. When you guys present on Sunday, perhaps one of the things you consider is really just trying to nail the problem. Explain the size and severity of the problem and just say, in one sentence, this is the problem that we solve. That way, if the problem is huge, if you say, let's say 1 in 3 people are going to die of heart disease or cancer, you cure heart disease or cancer. You don't even have to explain what the product is. Already you have the sweetest product on the planet, right? If the problem is significant enough, again, the solution will take care of itself. But what I recommend, more than anything, and this is particularly relevant to this year versus last year, is find a problem that actually exists, right? Not a solution looking for a problem, right? There's no lack of those. In fact, we get entrepreneurs coming to us all the time through GoBig or through like email and such, and saying, I've got this wonderful, amazing solution. And it's cool, but there's not really a problem attached to it. Or they say, I can't figure out what problem I want to solve. I'm looking for some brilliant idea. There are so many ideas on the internet at this point. Honestly, we don't need any more novel ideas on the internet, right? We just don't. We need more people to fix all the good ideas people had 5 years ago, right? And all the stuff in the 90s that went bust, the pets.coms of the world or the Cosmos of the world, some of those were actually pretty good ideas that nobody's gotten right. If you sell coffee tables online, I guarantee you could probably do it better than the people who are selling coffee tables right now. Take a look, take an inventory. Maybe not this weekend because you guys are well in your businesses, but on your own time, take an inventory of who's solving the problems that you care about right now and whether or not you can do it better. There's so much room, there's so much room for doing a better version of all the products that are already out there, right? Just don't reinvent the wheel just for the sake of reinventing the wheel. Like there's no money in novelty, there's money in solving a problem. Which kind of brings me to my next point, which is, where is the money? Web 2.0 is dead, Web 2.0 is over. If your business model has anything to do with the word AdSense, it's a crappy business model, right? I'm just going to throw that out there, right? If your partner says to you, we'll make money on ads, slap it, right? Because that is the beginning and end of your business, okay? And I understand you guys have just had that conversation. I'm okay with that. It's a horrible idea. And I'll tell you what, having talked to the companies that are at the top of the stack with the most amount of page views and traffic, etc., they're getting literally 1 cent ECPMs, earnings per 1,000 impressions. And they're making no money on advertising. Our advertising on GoBig, on Dotcast, etc., that in the history of advertising that we've done has been beer money. The checks are so late that we forget to cash them. I mean, it's that bad. Every now and then you'll hear about a company that's making a little bit of money on ads. It's always a little bit of money. It's not a way to make a sustainable business. If your product doesn't have a paywall, a freemium model, something that people can pay for, they might not pay for it. Maybe your product just is a charity, right? So be it. But there has to be something you're charging for. You know, if there's a Web 3.0, the seminal point everyone's going to make about it is it's like Web 2.0, but with a business model, right? By that, we mean a revenue, right? And so just to kind of cut to the chase on that, there's a few ways to make money on the web. You supply it against all of them. We forget ads. Again, ads is your money. It's great if we get any ad sales whatsoever. The first thing you're going to look at is subscriptions, right? You're going to say, will somebody pay to contact somebody else on the other side of the paywall? Will somebody pay to access content on the other side of the paywall? It's how every site from dating to porn to what have you is driven. It's a well-proven model. Subscriptions are awesome. And at Swaplease, we had a subscription to be able to contact somebody about a car that was available. At GoBig, we have a subscription to be able to contact somebody For investments, contact an investor. I got to ask you a subscription so you can contact a casting director, etc. In every case, we employ a subscription model. Hell, even Afford It has a subscription model. It's not even a subscription business. You pay us a monthly subscription to be able to have your Afford It card. In every case, we apply the subscription model if possible. Doesn't apply everywhere, but if it does, you have to at least thought about it. So that's one. Number two is going to be any kind of paid classified advertising. So Craigslist, certain parts are paid. Your eBay, etc. The classified ad model has been around since the dawn of time. It works, it's phenomenal, it's profitable. It's the suggestion that someone will pay to have your audience, will pay some sort of fee to be able to get in front of your audience for a moment in time. It works particularly well if the people you thought were going to run AdSense ads can actually buy classified ads on your site. It's almost more like targeting, etc. But it's every job site. It's a well-proven business model. The third one is lead generation. Lead generation is just this simple. Somebody signs up on your site, you say, do you want a cash for gold offer? You say, I love cash for gold, yes, I want that offer. You click on it, cash for gold pays you $10 in order to transmit that lead from that sign up over to cash for gold. Lead gen is huge, it's kind of the future of where marketing is going to go in the next few years, because as people can't monetize ads anymore, the focus is going to be on leads. So I implore you, whatever these businesses are, put a paying model to them. Sell something. Put t-shirts on there. Sell something. Have some sort of paywall. To be very explicit about where the paywall comes in. The paywall, of course, is at which point the customer has to pay to move forward. It could be the premium version of your product. It doesn't matter. That paywall is damn important. So it leads me to my final point, and we have some questions. My final point is, don't worry about figuring out exactly what the business is going to be. Point yourself in a direction, and I guarantee it won't be where you think it is. We have yet across over 10 businesses to get it right the first time. Go Big was supposed to be LinkedIn for entrepreneurs. And so all of us could talk to each other. Turns out we don't care about talking to each other. We want to talk to investors, right? But seriously, in every case, again, we thought we were going one direction, and the sand shifted a little bit, we were going the other. Pick a general point that you want to get, and more importantly, test it. Test the hell out of it. Test a few assumptions, because every one of your businesses, I guarantee, comes down to a handful of assumptions. Assumptions are these simple. Will somebody click on my ad? When they hit my ad,